Atlantia Viver, Atlantia Vincer, Atlantia Victor. This is a nice film made on the first Easter day in Romania here for my firm Vultur, which means eagle in Romanian language. We have the best servers in the world, I believe, in our firm. Except maybe the servers at Contabo, where I paid about $40 per month for an instance for a virtual machine with 6 cores, 40 gigabytes of RAM, and an 800 SSD, an 800 gigabytes SSD, which goes for $433 on Rackspace. So the cost of the storage alone on Rackspace is 10 times the cost of the virtual machine, and if you want to have a virtual machine at Rackspace, about the same at Contabo, you pay about $1,000. So at first I hosted all my 7 websites: Atlantia Online, Democrația Virtuală, Com, Democrația Atlanta.org, Virtual Democracy.org, eWorld site, IHL Space and IHL Data.com. Together with podcast Atlantia Online, PD Atlantia Online, Cumulus Atlantia Online, because I have about 55 subdomains on my NASA-like project of spreading virtual Atlantean democracies throughout the world. First, I have hosted my sites at 123systems.net in Dallas. I paid $4 per year and $20 per year, but when I have upgraded MySQL from version 5 to Maria database version 10.1, I lost the ability to bring back my sites, which are now about 55 gigabytes in size, about 231 gigabytes in size, because I have uploaded a lot of stuff on Rackspace, on my Rackspace account. And I lost the ability to move them back, so I was stuck with Contabo, and after 3 months with Contabo, I have noticed that they have moved my very good VPS to another portion of their vast, extremely vast network, where it was heavily over-provisioned about 100 times. And when I asked them why did they do that, they said, well, if you don't want to pay $1,000 per month, only $40 per month, this is how we do it. So I have moved out from Contabo to my firm, to vultur.com or vultur.com. And the guys at Vultur, we have terrible support. Because firms like Rackspace or SoftLayer, which is IBM, and which sell virtual machines as pigeons, as dedicated servers, they sell crows as pigeons. They have much better, support. Meaning, because it is not the quality of support. There are the same stupid guys everywhere. When I had a lot of spam attacks on Democrația Atlanta.org on my cPanel account, where I was paying $160 per month at Vultur.com on an instance with 8 processors, 8 virtual processors, and 16 gigabytes of RAM, I got an answer: sorry to hear about that, end quote. There was a guy who posted 3,948 threads on my Atlantean Freak section on the Democrația Atlanta.org, all about Viagra, sex, and sexual diseases. So I had to completely redo the forum, and everything that they cared to say was sorry to hear about that. And later on, I have completely lost my sites. Fortunately, after I moved my sites to softlayer.com, where I had the present a coupon of $500 1 month hosting, and I got a machine with 16 cores, 32 gigabytes of RAM, which proved to be ineffective. I needed about 64 gigabytes of RAM not to run into SWAP. But unfortunately, that would have costed me another $443, or maybe I don't know how many, but around $400. And if I wanted to have unlimited bandwidth like at our firm at Vultur, I had to pay another $2,000 per month and only have 100 megabytes per second, megabits per second, not 1 gigabit per second as we have. So yes, I know that the cost multiplied by 10, so I paid $4 per year at 123systems.net for 1 megabit per second, and I pay $40 per year for 10 megabits per second, $400 per year for 100 megabits per second, $4,000 per year for 1 gigabit per second, and maybe $40,000 or maybe $200 per year at Rackspace for because I currently pay about $3,000 per month at Rackspace, and they have horrible, terrible servers. I actually don't know. I believe it is a great contest between Software, Rackspace, and Microsoft to determine who has the most slow, horrible, and terrible servers all around, and the winner is Microsoft. Yes, Bill Gates, you won that one. Your servers are the most expensive, $899 per month for a simple instance with 4 cores and 28 gigabytes of RAM or something like that. And your disks are horribly slow. And if I move to SSD, my account was quickly suspended. I have to move to a pay-as-you-go because the initial $200 which I received as a present from you did not cover the SSD, and the mechanical drives are slower than this flash drive on which I have installed Porteus. Yes. And I love Slacks and Porteus. Slacks and Porteus Linux can run on 128 megabytes of RAM. Really nice distribution. They occupy only 352 megabytes of space, and I have a lot of tools. So, I will tell you now on the Eastern Day that it is your servers are absolutely horrible, but also the servers at Rackspace are horrible. I bought or I have rented a great server with 40 cores and Intel Xeon E5 2616, I believe, and 128 gigabytes of RAM for my great project of uniting. And I have also provisioned the Apache servers with 100,000 times 20,000 times 20,000 times 100,000 connections maximum, and I use about 4 gigabytes of RAM, so I use about 2 cores and 4 gigabytes of RAM, but I need the room to expand because if a lot of people enter, I'm confronted with this stupid question: why do you need to spend so much money? Because I cannot afford to create and delete and install operating systems all day long, all year long, and all months long, on Rackspace. Yes, they have a great API, which we don't have at Vultur. They have a great API which allows people to install servers automatically. So say you have a store like IHL Space or IHL Datacom where you sell computers and software, and on the Eastern time a lot of people come and buy your products. You can quickly provision a lot of clone servers based on some very nice backups, because when you delete a server as a Rackspace, the disk is saved, it remains saved, and you can clone that disk, that image, you can backup it, you can use that backup to set up 1,000 new servers, and you can use the image to set up a new 1,000. So for virtual machine they have backups, and for they have images, and for physical servers they have backups. Also at Rackspace, their plans are more detailed than we have now. Our plans at Vultur.com are a joke. They are like being made by 5 years old. And yes, I am at fault at this, because I said to Princess Mihaela from Agartha 2 years ago, to one of her 7 heads, which was actually a male, doesn't matter, she has 5 female heads and 2 male heads. I said to her or to him that I need to have compute, and I need to put my website, and that is all I need to double to have one processor and 1 gigabyte RAM, and double to 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and so on. Yes, or maybe 2 and 4, 4 and 8, and 2 processors and 4 gigabytes of RAM, 4 processors and 8 gigabytes, and go to. But we didn't go far enough, because you know we have our greatest offerings is virtual servers with 24 cores and 64 gigabytes of RAM. On the other hand, our dedicated servers are a complete farce. We have 4 little tiny disks, 120 gigabytes in size. I cannot run my websites on them because my image now is 231 gigabytes. Yes, and I cannot use all 4 of them because I cannot put them in a JBOD array, just a bunch of disk array. Yes, so I cannot use your dedicated. Also, your dedicated servers are located only in Japan and America. I live in Romania, and light travels very slowly on this one. So I cannot use them. I can use that 24 cores and 64 gigabytes of RAM, which you sell for $640 per month, which is very nice compared to the $3,000 that I now pay at Rackspace, or $500 for nothing at Softlayer, because Softlayer, they have really nice servers, but they have a policy like you have, like we have, about blocking the port 25. Please unblock port 25 for everyone, and use techniques like spoof and .kim or .dekim or others to block, yes, after they have received, because email is very slow, but I need to receive my emails, because I don't need to send spam or to receive spam. I need to receive emails from my system telling me who has tried to break into my account, who succeeded in breaking into my account, what backup failed, what backup succeeded, and things like that. Yes, reports about services going down. At Rackspace I had all the POP and IMAP and XTEAM going down the same day, because I had set up a firewall and I destroyed the firewall, but still I have lots of frozen emails, 3,000 frozen emails, and they tell me to use Mailgun, which is very bad, very stupid. I can't use Mailgun. I can use the solution server grid or mail grid or whatever at Softlayer, but I can't use the Mailgun. Mailgun, mails like I'm sending. So I know that I'm the owner of Vultur, but I don't demand any special treatment. I know that you have to give me 15 or 20 or $25 million now. I don't care. I do care, but I don't want to be given a lot of money to be treated any differently than any other customer. But first time I registered at you with my first email address, apollo@yahoo.com. I only had a debt of $0.88, and you blocked and deleted my account because you didn't like that I sent you spam. I didn't send you spam. I sent you my, ideas. Next, I set up another account called Ozymankos@yahoo.com, because the first was inaccessible, and Natalie in France was kind enough to give me $50 in credit. But after that, because my server costed $160, I had accrued about $45 in debt, and you have promptly deleted my accounts and my work, but before I have moved it, because I anticipated your. Yes, you have given me 1 week grace period, and I used that period to move all my files to Softlayer, which gave me a $500 present, a $500 coupon. Yes. Okay. After that, I set up another account, a third account, my third and final email account, kaitalacor@yahoo.com, and I have loaded again with $5 my account, and I have set up 7 instances of $5 each per month, the lowest denominator, and after that, you have blocked and deleted only when I have $5 or $8 or $3 in debt, and you have completely deleted and blocked my account. I cannot use. So what am I supposed to do now? Start another Yahoo email account and register again at you. You have a terrible attitude towards your clients. To put it in retrospective, at DigitalOcean I have a debt of $22, which I intend to pay, and I have found a way to install cPanel because Rackspace doesn't offer cPanels automatically like you do. You have to pay the license for cPanel, you have to install cPanel and so on manually, yes. So I have installed cPanel manually and I got all sorts of weird things on my new brand Zeus or Aphrodite or Artemis or Athena servers. Some servers during a simple mooning or clam operation they will lock out, they will block, and then when I rebooted them they will stay in that state of complete rebootness forever and I have to delete them. Other servers, when I have created and installed everything and after that I rebooted them and they died. I have to, you know, go into rescue mode with them and they are dead. And you know, the guys at Rackspace, they have a standard plan for websites 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 4 and 4, 8 and 8 plan, which means 8 cores and 8 gigabytes, but they also have an extended plan for compute which starts with 2 cores and 3.75 gigabytes and go to 4, 8 and so on and so forth until you have 32 cores and 60 gigabytes of RAM. And also they have a plan for I/O databases which have a very small, I don't like 40 gigabytes disk for system, and after that you have 1.6 terabytes for, you know, the other stuff, because I have here on this server 2 SSD of 1.6 terabytes, but they are not Fusion IOs, they are made by Seagate, which makes, you know, hard disk, and they are very slow, they are horribly slow. Everything is horribly slow at Rackspace with the exception of compute engines. So if you take a memory instance which costs $1,500 per month or $52 per year, and which has 16 cores and 120 gigabytes of RAM, the disk, although it is an SSD, is horribly slow. It is moderately horribly slow. There are the SATA ones. If you take an input-output, again, the disk is very fast, but you have a lot of stuff like this, because I have installed my website on the physical service called I/O, the best physical service I have found, and I have this weird thing that when I enter into cPanel, VHM and cPanel lock out and it takes forever for them to load. When I load my websites, half of them take forever to load, but after they have loaded they are very fast. Also, after I enter into cPanel and VHM, if I have the patience to wait for it, they go very fast. I have recompiled the apart servers with symlink on, symlink off, with npm worker on and off, with DSO, with SU PHP, and with DSO half of my subdomains do not work. I have to compile them with SU PHP. I have to use SU PHP, which is far slower than DSO. Yes, and I suspect this is a virtual machine because Rackspace does not allow me to use. I have tried to install KDE, the Plasma workspaces, and GNOME desktop and Mate desktop and XFCE and Cinnamon, but they don't allow me to use. I constantly get on the virtual machine and on the physical machines. I get the error that the display driver ELSA or MESA is not available, and that means either the monitor is not attached to the server, it is called Rackspace after all, or that you know, it is a virtual machine, because I have tried to see what kind of I have digged for a grep command which shows me what video cards they have. They have a very bad video card, I don't remember its name, and the guy support tell me, a Mexican, we don't offer IPs, we are in crisis of IP addresses. How? The guys software gave me 4 IP addresses for $1 per month. We don't give anything. The guys at Contabo gave me 1 IP, then they only asked for $40 per month, you asked for $3,000 per month. We don't have any IP address, you have to use the shared one. Okay, I use the shared one. And he also told me that no, that is the main support. At any big hosting company, they will say, no, we don't know, that you can do, and stuff like that. Sorry to hear about that. Their support is very basic. You can pay $400 per month and you will get the same thing. Yes. So they are they have a lot of weird problems, the servers at Rackspace. As software, because of the blocking, constant blocking of the port 25, I cannot convince them, although I phoned them to unblock it. I cannot sell my computers through IHL Space, therefore I cannot make any money, therefore I cannot pay them. Yes? Okay. Here at Rackspace everything works so far. I can make money, I can pay them, but half of my stuff is very slow, you know. At Microsoft Azure it is painfully slow, and at Vultur.com you have good servers, very good servers, decent servers, but your attitude towards your clients sucks. So I believe I will move back to Contabo, although I hate Contabo. I hate their over provisioning, I love their prices. So we need to unblock port 25, we need to put spoof and DKIM. We need to put a more comprehensive and complete offer of servers. I understand that we don't have the resources that Amazon Cloud has. We need to put instances for memory, for input, output, not only for compute. We need more general instances based not on SATA disks, because this is an error. We need hybrid drives, which are HDD, SD, or SD, HDD, whatever you want to call them. They are big hard drives with very small cache, which is made of SD, made of flash. Yes, they use this kind of hybrid drives at Contabo, and I can have 2000 gigabytes or 2 terabytes for the price of 800 gigabytes, which is very nice. It is also nice for hosting. So this is what, and the dedicated servers that we have at Vultur are horrible. Please I mean, not get rid of them, get rid of the disk. Replace the disk with something more bigger. 961.6 terabytes. Put some Fusion IOs from because they are very nice. Not Seagate Velocity Raptors or however they are called. Put Fusion IOs. They are sold at Alibaba.com with $922. Actually, they ask you $1,031, but if you email them, they will drop the price to $922. Okay, so goodbye, my friends. Have a happy Easter.